Hey guys, this is Sergio coming at you guys with yet another HTC Hero review. This is not so much a review. In this video, I'm going to do nothing but talk about the pitfalls of the phone. A lot of you guys were saying, wow, you must really love this phone. You have nothing but almost good things to say about it. And while it is very much true that I do love this phone and I really have almost no complaints, the few that I do have are significant, and you should know about them before you decide to go out and buy this phone for your own or refer it to somebody. So this video is going to be about the not likes about the phone, what I do wish was changed or fixed or whatever. Okay, so let's get into it. The speed of the phone. I think every complaint I have about the phone has something to do with the speed, and that largely is due to the 528 megahertz processor made by Qualcomm processor. Not that it's not a good processor or anything, but it is very last generation. It's the same processor that was on the My Touch and they had Touch Pro and the Touch Pro 2 and the HTC Diamond. Really, every other phone HTC has put out has that same processor. And by now, they really should have upped it up, I believe so, and gone with something a little beefier. You know, Samsung has an 800 megahertz processor on their Moment. The Droid on Verizon, the Motorola Droid has the same processor the iPhone 3GS has and the Palm Pre has. And you know, you really do notice the difference. Not that this phone is very slow or has a lot of lag in it by any means, but I'll show you guys. So right now I don't have any applications open, really, except for calendar and mail that which run in the background. So let me show you how this phone bogs down once you really get into it. We'll open up. This is first of my complaints. The browser. The browser is beautiful, works great, but kind of slow to boot up. Let me show you. We'll put up whatever. Let's go into Craigslist. I don't like this right now. You're gonna see retrieving sign-in details. If your browser is not already running in the background and you're opening up for the first time or for the first session, it will always do that. It will retrieve your sign-in details. I don't really know. I don't know what to tell you guys about what that means. I think it's retrieving your settings when it does that. But you know, it's just an extra 3 seconds, but it is a little bit of annoyance. I hope they fix that in the future. But other than that, the browser works great. The other thing is the pinch to zoom. You can see kind of froze up there, right? Works great. I mean, I'm not complaining about that, the pinch to zoom, but you see it does kind of lag a little bit when you go at it really quickly, and I think that's largely due to the processor speed. If we had a bigger processor, the pinch to zoom would work a lot better. So it's great the phone does have pinch to zoom. Not a lot of phones out there do have it, and it gives you a very rich web experience, but just not as zippy as the iPhone 3GS or the Palm Pre or the Motorola. Well, you know what, the Motorola Droid doesn't have pinch to zoom, but not as zippy as the Palm Pre or the iPhone 3GS when it comes to this. Okay, so that's another little complaint. The other thing was the keyboard lag. Let me show you what that looks like. We'll open up. See a lot of you guys comment and stuff. That's great. Thank you. I really appreciate it, and I'll answer your questions the best I can. So I'll reply to this even though I'm not supposed to, so I can show you guys what the keyboard lag looks like. I said reply, sir. So you see there, it lags a little bit when doing these kind of things, when stuff starts running in the background. So the keyboard, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy shuttle. The keyboard worked accurately. I mean, I have no mistakes. Just you'll notice a more modern landscape. Let me show you. So, I mean, that was partly my fault for hitting the settings button accidentally, but really, in my experience with it, when I'm in landscape mode and I'm hammering out emails, it works fine. I don't get any mistakes, but you see it gets to the point where you're typing faster than the phone can remember. So you'll type really fast and the phone will get stuck, and then it'll catch up to you and it'll fill out everything you typed. But it's just a little annoying because it does slow it down a little bit. And when I did have haptic feedback turned on and the sounds, like when you can turn on the sounds that make noise every time you hit the keyboard, it also slowed down the typing process a little bit. So just a little annoyance there. Again, I think that's largely due to the... So the other thing, and this is not specific to HTC Hero, this is every Android device out there, the onboard memory. When you buy an Android device, do take into account that whatever you download from the market must be saved to the onboard memory. You cannot save it to your SD card without jailbreaking or without rooting the device. Just know that. And this comes, you see here, I've used up 94 megabytes and only 159 are available. So it comes with 256 megabytes of flash memory or of onboard memory, and out of those 256, almost 100 is taken away for the data storage and for the applications that come stock on it in HTC Sense. So you really only have 160 megabytes to work with. You know, to tell you the truth, it's not like I've gotten to a point where I'm like, damn, I'm filled up on memory. I mean, I've downloaded so many applications, I have games on this, and I still have some memory left. It would just be nice to have something like the Palm Pre with 8 gigabytes of onboard memory, or the HTC, no HTC phone has that, or the Apple iPhone with 32 megabytes of onboard memory, 32 gigabytes. I mean, it'd just be nice. Okay, and the other thing is, because it's all onboard memory, you have to rely on your SD card for all your... Let me get that into focus for you guys. You have to rely on your SD card for all your photos and all your music and all that stuff. And the reason why that's kind of... Well, that reason why that kind of sucks, let me show you the music application. It's a little bit slow because it has to load the music from the SD card and not from the onboard memory. When you're using the Palm Pre or the iPhone 3GS or any other phone that has onboard memory and you have media files on there, things load up a lot quicker because the phone doesn't have to work as hard to gather that information. So that's just a little thing I wish they would change. So let's see if I go into playlist. No, there's a menu in here, or there's something you do where it tells you loading SD card and it boots up a little bit. I just can't find it at the moment. But other than that, the phone works wonderfully. You can see it's kind of laggy there. A little status scrolling bar here. See, it kind of stutters. And that is right now because I have a lot of things loaded in the background. But go back to home. It's not significant enough where I would throw this phone away and say I want something else. I'll be honest with you guys, this is my daily driver. This is the phone I use day in and day out, for now anyways. And it works wonderfully. I just wish that processor would get amped up. That being said, HTC and Sprint have been very, very, very good about updating the phone and bringing it up to speed. When the phone first came out, there was a lot of lag on the phone. People just kind of threw it against the wall and said this one was too slow. And then HTC rolled out a firmware update which fixed it. The big problem was, I think, the animations. It used to be that this clock animation would flip down, and interestingly enough, that actually takes a lot of memory to do. So that was fixed, and now this clock doesn't flip down, it just switches the time, and that took care of a lot of the lag and a lot of other little knickknacks here and there with the animations that the firmware update fixed. Then Sprint got a hold of the phone, sent it out, and there were a few bugs and glitches, and then Sprint themselves put out another firmware update which took care of some battery issues and took care of some speed issues. So now the phone is noticeably faster than when I first got it. So thank you, Sprint, thank you, HTC, for that. You guys have been doing a great job of keeping the phone up to date. And with that being said, there was another update coming to us in I think January or February. Eclair, Android 2.0, or what we're going to be getting supposedly Android 2.0.1, which is the Eclair update, which means that your phone will be on par with the Motorola Droid as far as software goes, and it should give you a little more zippiness and a few more little bugs here and there that will get fixed. So can't